How's it going, bros? Welcome back to the Dubois Podcast. You might already know who we are, but in case you didn't, we are Dubois. Dude, I'm so glad we were locked in for that. We were all on the same wavelength.
I was not at all. I was caught so off guard. I just was too stunned to speak.
All right, let's go again. Ready?
Wait, no. I didn't even know what that was. I just
Locked. I was locked.
All right. Ready?
How do it again?
Whisper it.
Just really low. A really low register, very softly.
Oh God.
Very low. Softly.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Sounds like an alligator. Anyways, we don't actually have to redo it.
Hi guys.
She's also one of the boys.
Yeah, boy.
And welcome back. Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna skip the goofs and guffaws because we're gonna be talking about music. Don't we all love music?
I do.
I'm all right with it.
Yeah.
That's a lie. That's all this dude does.
Yeah, not looking.
Open up Discord is always listening to Spotify.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Well, that being said, we're going to be beginning with our music recommendations. And we'll start with our resident music hater, apparently, Alex.
Music. My song this I'm gonna keep it brief.
Yeah, okay.
My
Start
song
the
this
timer
week
now.
is Timeless, the remix by The Weeknd, Playboi Carti, and Doechii. The normal song,
the original song, but the remix.
Yeah. The normal song is good. It's cool. I watched a lot of Spider-Verse edits to the song.
Okay.
So whenever the Doechii one remix came out, I was like, hold on, Doechii's fire. Let me hear it. I said I was gonna keep this brief.
Wow.
So I
already going on a
low
tangent.
key.
Who could have saw that coming?
Low key. So I listened to it, and Doechii did her motherfucking damn already, bro. I didn't challenge myself to the swearing thing, but I feel like it's mad early in the video. Doechii did her thing on the beat on the song. It was very good. Her verse is fantastic. You should listen to it. Yes, my time is done.
I do like the song, but me personally, I like the beat more than anything else. I don't know what it is. My boss be playing it, and the beat is just playing. No one's rapping or singing. And my balls.
Yeah, I was like,
my balls start playing it. My
balls
boss,
start beating.
my supervisor. Yeah, no, I really rock with the beat.
Hell yeah. Tell us what other kind of beats you rock with.
Beats made by a guy named Galimatius, because that's my song today. He made a song called Red Eye back in 2020, I think. But I'm suggesting it now. Red Eye by Galimatius. Basically, it's a song where he's just saying, like, hey, I'm coming back to town. Tell your man he's not your man no more.
Okay.
Because I am. I'm back in town.
Okay, Matt. I didn't know you had it like that.
Matt. Oh. I was like, that was Matt.
Yes.
Yeah, really good beats, really good vocals. Honestly, listen to the whole Renaissance album. I like it.
Do it.
Let me know what you think if you do. Also, put more music out with Alina Braz, please.
Alina Braz.
Yeah. But like the duo, that's how I started with y'all. That's how I found out who she was and who he was. Go back together.
Well, hold on.
In the booth.
Yeah, in the booth.
No, separately in the booth, but make music together.
Yeah, Galimatius, make the beat, send it to her.
Yeah.
Let her sing over the beat.
Yeah.
She'll send it back, and then you do whatever other stuff you got to do.
So let me hear it early, and then publish us early, and I'll publish it.
Exactly. That is my song.
All right. I think in honor of National Women's Month, which has long since passed.
I was going to say.
Wait.
I was like, it's.
I think it's about time we let a woman speak.
Second to last.
Time.
I love that.
Oh, true,
Hey,
actually.
But not last.
Progress is.
He said any step is a step forward.
See, no, here's the thing, though. You got to let the people of color talk. Then the woman.
Yeah.
Then the half white man.
Yeah, that's right, baby. Oppression Olympics. That's what we're talking about here.
Yes, sir.
It goes minorities, women, and then biracials.
Yeah, you got biracials. Logic.
Okay, well, Veronica, would you like to tell us your song?
People gonna be like,
Sorry.
personal color.
Oh,
Where's the color?
My music recommendation this week is One Thing by Miss Lola Young. And this song actually came out recently. It came out a few days ago. And it is so good. Her voice is so good. The way she's singing, what she's singing about, it's very sensual and very it's very much she very much like when you hear it you'll get the vibe, but it's such a good song. I love the way she sings. I think that it's another banger of hers, and I'm very excited to see what music she comes out with. This is one of the third song of hers that I've fallen in love with so far since I found her, and I think she makes some beautiful music. So make sure you guys check it out and make sure you guys take a listen.
Yeah.
Wonderful. A woman speaking. Love to hear it.
Facts.
Then recommending a woman singing.
True.
Mm-hmm.
What could have been better?
And she's a hot woman at that. She's beautiful.
Amen. God, what a time to be alive. Anyways.
All right, Mr. Biracial.
Yeah, legit.
It's time. Y'all mind if... Yeah, I'm not going to do that joke. All right. I'm going to kill the vibe a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Because the song...
We love that.
The song hit home a little bit more.
Hey, you know what? Hey, speak the truth.
So this song is called... My song recommendation for this week is Feet in the Pool by Ryan Nealon.
Bro, talking about feet. My fault. I'm sorry. It's your time to speak. I'm sorry.
Anyways, this song is about being overweight in the world that we kind of live in. So like the title "Feet in the Pool"
It's
refers
not easy.
to,
It's not easy.
I'm saying, the title refers to like going to a pool but being so insecure in your body that like you don't want to get in, so you just put your feet in the pool to like still be in the zone but not quite, have to put yourself out there. And I like this song because like men generally are kind of socialized to not really recognize their insecurities and kind of just like thug it out in a way. And so this song, like I hear a lot of women speak of their experience with like body dysmorphia and things like that, but I've never really like, at least not that I could think of, heard of a man who like kind of spoke about it. But yeah, so it's comforting to hear a man speak about the experience that I myself have like experienced throughout like my entire life of like being insecure. And so like the chorus, it goes like, all I've ever known is putting life on hold till I can show my skin till my body just fits in. And that's something that I personally have kind of like gone through, like just kind of dealing with those kinds of emotions of never feeling like I'm allowed to be in the spaces that I'm in, or like always trying to kind of like minimize myself to fit into wherever I am. And then after that it goes, am I small enough for them to fall in love? Could change me inch by inch, in my mind I'll never win. So it's like that's another thing where it's like when it comes to like my romantic endeavors, I've throughout my life, I've allowed my like weight to kind of hold me back from that because of like the fear of perception and assuming that I'm not good enough because of my size. And then the whole like could change inch by inch, but in my mind I'll never win. So it's like that also goes into the kind of body dysmorphia part of it, where it's like no matter like even now on the weight loss journey that I'm on, like I can't see the change that other people tell me is there. So like it's that thing where it's like no matter what, I'm probably going to see myself the same, like regardless of where I get to. I'm hoping not, but I guess we'll see. But yeah, it's just nice to kind of be able to hear. I guess it's like a representation thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a very good song. It's got that kind of somber vibe, but it's very nice.
I mean, it seems like a beautiful like song in a sad way.
Yeah, exactly. And also this person's voice is fantastic. So I'd recommend giving it a listen.
Nice.
W.
Where would they give it a listen to?
Well, that's the thing. There's not very many places that you could find these songs that we recommend. At least not collected all in one spot altogether. But there is one place. One singular place. There is nary another place anywhere. Yes, Alex.
No, I was like one.
For the tribal chief. Anyways.
Well,
anyways.
Not my tribal chief.
You're right.
If you would like to hear all of our songs recommended in the past, present, and the future, just go on to Spotify and type in Dubois Music Recommendations. And you will find a special playlist with all of those songs.
Yeah.
Give it a listen, follow the playlist, download the playlist. Let us know what you think of the playlist. And with that, I bid you adieu.
Playlist.
Adieu.
End of the episode.
Bye.
All right.
See y'all next week.
That's quick. All right. So, how's everybody doing this week?
Got something you got to say?
I'm thinking.
Oh.
How am I doing this week?
I'm doing okay. I'm a little sad because my coworker is on his what's the word?
His rum
Leave of absence.
Oh. Okay.
Sabbatical, honey.
Yeah. Kyle, if you're watching this, or if you're not, that's fine.
Kyle.
He left last week technically. This is like the second week.
Mm-hmm.
But he left to do the PCT, which I believe is like the Pacific Trail. But he basically is like hiking from like the bottom of California all the way to like the top of Oregon.
What the
Golly.
hell?
Yeah. So it's like a 5 month just hiking, like
Oh, God.
no like hitchhiking. He can hitchhike into town to get supplies. Then he has to get back to where he was and then continue.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like he's on this like journey, just kind of walking the whole way.
Oh, my
I
God.
respect it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So he's out there right now in the desert, trooping it out.
Jeez.
He's gonna come back a different man.
Yeah,
Low-key.
low key. He's always been into hiking. Like every weekend, this dude would just, I'm gonna go like hike these mountains. I'm like, on
wow,
2
man.
days, dude hit 8 mountains. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he always went to like New Hampshire, Vermont, like those areas like Maine.
Mhm.
So he's trained for this, but now he has to take on the beast of like 24/7, just hiking, putting up a
Yeah.
tent, living off of like the supplies he has.
Is he like able to like hunt and stuff in those areas, or does he have to? Like, go back into
He
town
could, but he's not really like
Like a
much of
hunter.
a he's not
Oh,
really
he's
like,
not- he's
into
not that kinda-
yeah.
Yeah,
Like he
gotcha.
would probably at the most fish, but
Okay.
he's like more so just like getting supplies to like keep
Mhm.
him like satiated in the moment, stuff like that. He does have like water packs that he'll like
Mm-hmm.
set up, put a filter on, and then it'll filter all
Okay.
the nasty stuff out.
Okay.
But yeah, he's
Wow.
going on this long ass journey.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Wow.
Wow. A 5 month
Yeah.
walk. That's
Yeah.
bananas.
Uh-huh. Like
Wow.
literally
do 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You lucky if you get
Look.
15.
That's crazy.
Hey, well,
So-
hey, good luck out there,
Yeah,
Kyle.
Hope you make it. Hope
Yeah.
you do everything you want to and more.
True.
You got that, bro.
Yes, sir.
I don't have anything to say about like my week or anything like that.
Yeah.
I do have some stuff I want to talk about though. Now,
Let's get into it.
we've talked about Last of Us quite a bit on this
And it's not gonna be
podcast
the
past
last
few
time
episodes.
that we do.
And it won't be the last of it.
Of
Part-
the
Season 2.
Part season 2.
yeah.
Yeah. So for reference, I had stopped watching at episode 2. Not for any particular reason. I just kind of fell off.
Show.
I don't hate
He
the
told
show.
me behind the scene. No, I'm kidding.
And I caught up to episode 5 last night, or well, technically this morning. Some things I want to talk about because I didn't really get to talk about episode 2 either.
We'll pull out the notes.
Yeah, you weren't here for it.
Yeah. All right. Well, spoilers for The Last of
true.
Us
Yeah.
season 2 if
Yeah.
you have not watched it yet.
Yep. I don't
Yeah,
want to
like
hear any
a-
comments talk about some. You spoiled it.
Skip thing. I don't know.
Skip. Yeah, I'll put the time
Oh,
code
there you go.
here. No, I remember during your guys' episode, there was like things you were talking about, and you're like, "Oh, I don't want to spoil." I was like, "Man, if you don't just go, if you don't just spoil it already."
I think it's because we struggled with like spoiling it for
Talking
you, but we're
about
like
it.
he's
Yeah.
gonna see it regardless,
Yeah.
so it's hard. But also like some people that haven't seen the thing, so it's
Yeah.
very tough to like.
to navigate it.
Yeah.
I did go back and see you talking drunk about me forgetting to
Oh,
do stuff
okay,
in the
yeah,
beginning of
yeah.
the episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
'cause
watched
at the
that.
beginning of it, as you were going
Yeah.
through, I was like, and I was editing. I was like, "Is he not
gonna
gonna
say it?
do the thing? Is he not gonna?" So then,
I was
so then
like,
when you were like,
"Oh."
"Oh," and I was like, "Yeah." So I put the little video in. I had 2 bits like that in
Yeah.
that episode.
Uh-huh.
Which I thought was pretty
Yeah.
funny. Anyways,
Sorry.
so episode 2.
We're going episode by
Episode 2
episode.
notes. Hold on. I think I do.
I should have taken notes. I should have done that, but I was just had
I
my
mean, hey, you
thought.
could just throw out whatever things that you're like. Are,
Joel's
you know,
demise
Mhm.
was the way that they executed it was less
Lackluster.
impactful than it was in the game.
Yeah. Same.
So for
me.
reference, Veronica, in the game, we kind of watch him get his head bashed in with that golf club.
yeah.
Yeah.
But in the show, she just like stabs him with the broken golf club. But it looks weird and not as
it's like in his
doesn't
neck.
have as much of a hit to it.
Yeah. So even
I'm assuming the reason why they did that is because they wanted to keep his face intact.
Yeah.
For the scene where Ellie like goes up and you know and does that.
Also probably easier on the makeup department.
Also that too.
But yeah, so even not to randomly skip 3 episodes ahead, but in like episode 5 where Nora was like his screams or whatever, I was like, I mean, but he didn't really like. I'm sure when like
actually
she
they took the line from the game
they took,
directly,
like, that scene
but
word
it wasn't.
Yeah,
You're
it's
right.
like, it don't hit the same. Sorry, we'll get to that in season 5 or episode 5.
Yeah, he really took them. He was just like, ugh.
Yeah, really, like whenever she was like beating him. But
did you have anything to say about that? Because I don't think you were here for that. I think that was your
Yeah,
guys'
yeah.
duo episode.
Yeah.
I hated that episode so bad. I hated Abby. Love the character. I think the girl who plays the character is great. But like I was pissed. I was so mad that they killed him. I like understand, I guess, why they did it, but like I don't know. I feel like the way that she beat him, yes, but like the way that they showed his body still looked like he kind of was able to fight back a little bit. I think like if you're really gonna show that he wasn't able to fight at all, like you need to show like a really beaten, abused man. Like we saw a little bit of it, but I don't think like it was as like I would expect it to be.
He was too intact.
Yeah, like, and I hate to say that because like I obviously didn't want him to die, but I feel like if you're gonna do a death like that, I feel like knowing that they bashed his head in the game, I think that would have been more like authentic to do. And like she still could have like went over to the body, hugged the body and stuff like that. But I feel like they're trying to make it so that like when she was asking him to stand up, it was her way of like making it so he would never be able to stand up again because she like broke his neck. You know what I mean? So I think like that was maybe her way of doing it. But like, I don't know. It was kind of, I don't know. I feel like in any other circumstance, like she and her type of body would never be able to take him down. It kind of felt like unrealistic.
Yeah, like that was in the game. It's
yeah, like I feel like he could have just easily just hurt her.
Yeah, because Abby in the game is a monster, and it's very important that she is a monster.
Yeah.
Like that she can overpower someone like this. I mean, granted, I think she like shot him in the leg or something like that. But
Yeah,
like,
she shot him first, which put him at a disadvantage
like,
immediately.
I love Caitlin Dever, but like she's like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Same thing with
even my supervisor said the same thing about it. Like just like Abby, you know, we are like afraid of Abby because of like how she's like we know she's capable.
Yeah.
So
You
it's
know
like,
who they should have
doesn't
gotten
come
for
across the
her?
same way.
Ilona Maher, the rugby player, the Olympian. You'll probably recognize her in just a moment.
Editor, put a picture in
I
right
feel
here.
like her as Abby, she would have been Chef's Kiss. Like
Did she
obviously,
act?
I don't know.
Oh.
She's been on
Low-key,
Dancing with
she
the
does look like her.
Stars.
Really?
She does look like
a
her
little
though.
bit.
She's a rugby player. She went to the Olympics and then she was on Dancing with the Stars.
Nice.
I remember her partner's first name was Alan, but I don't remember his last name. But she's been like doing a lot of like stuff. You recognize her too?
Oh,
This
for
guy.
sure.
See, I feel like if they got her, like she would be the perfect Abby. She'd be somebody that like I can see taking Joel down. Like she's strong, she's tall, she's like masculine, she's able to, you know, do what I think Abby would be able to do. Looking at Abby now as Caitlin Dever, like I don't really think that she's very intimidating. Like I
Yeah.
think that like that shot to the knee is really the only thing that gave her the one up because she kind of made him incapable to walk. Like he could still move at some point, but like he
They
was
do
so
that in the
afraid.
game, just so you know. That is
really?
also she does shoot him in the leg or the
Shotgun
knee.
his like knee out or whatever.
But I feel like he could have and would have fought more. Like I feel like his character, I like expected him to fight back more. Even though Dina was like knocked out and stuff, like I just expected a little more from him. Like I feel like he didn't really. I feel like he kind of gave up. You know?
Yeah.
It did kind
I
of
was-
give that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that earlier. I was like the Joel we know versus like him in that like moment or scene. It feels a little like obviously there's not much he could do. They caught him by surprise and he was surrounded. So like I get it, but like it does feel like slightly different. Like a different like it feels a little bit more convenient, I guess, like than kind of what I would expect from the dude who cleared out an entire hospital. You know what I mean? I guess.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Because they bring that up again later, and I'm like, actually, yeah, he did do that.
Yeah.
Where was that at? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
And I feel like he wouldn't have, the moment he saw Ellie, I feel like he would have fought harder. Like, I don't think he would have, like, obviously I know he was in a pretty bad state, but I don't think he would have, like, fallen down and fallen over so easily in a sense, because I feel like he would have seen her and been like, I have to fight for her. I have to make sure she's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have to, like, you know, make sure she's alive and all set and everything. So I think, like, I don't know. I expected more. I expected more of a fight.
Yeah. I will say the you guys did bring it up for me. Appreciate that. The whole, like, they said you were handsome. They were right, or whatever she said.
Yeah.
I remember what I was gonna say now. I have to come back to that.
All right,
This man killed tens of your coworkers and your father.
Yeah.
Basically destroyed the Fireflies, the organization you were a part of. Do we really think it's appropriate to comment on his attractiveness right now?
No.
Like no one ever really describes like a killer that way. Sometimes they do, but like I don't know. It's especially like in this context,
like a personal like vendetta attached to it.
But for even the nurses to be the one to describe, he's like, he's 6 feet tall.
Scar on his temple.
Listen, they were lonely ladies.
He's
okay,
Latino and he's really handsome. It feels so like is it that deep at the end of the day?
It feels weird.
No.
But it just feels
out
like
of
a
place.
strange thing for no
like,
reason.
Pedro. That's a handsome man.
It's like, yeah, we know. You know what I mean? Like
you don't have to convince us.
Exactly. The other thing I was going to say is them revealing the whole like, yeah, Joel killed your father thing. So soon.
That's
like this. For reference, in the game, you don't find out until halfway through the game that that's the case.
Yeah, Calvin was saying that they kind of like sped things up a little bit in the way that they delivered and like how they chose to do things, even with like their most recent episode. He was making comments about how he's like, oh, they're doing this now, and I was like, what do you mean? I had him like explain to me.
I was
the
not
difference.
ready for like what happened in episode 5. I feel like it wasn't.
So
I feel like we weren't there.
Hold on,
they skipped through like 3 parts.
Episode 5. Which one was the one where they start bumping out? Was that 4?
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
Episode 4 and 5 are very, very strange.
Yeah.
1, Dina is just Tommy now.
Yeah.
Like it's very weird. And like in episode 5, they're walking down the street. Dina is like, I'm a rage demon.
Yeah, literally.
I'm gonna kill everybody in Seattle if I gotta. I'm gonna kill them all.
Hormones.
And Ellie's like, but we're like having so much fun. I want to go and see the world with you, and we're gonna raise our biracial baby together. Like,
she's in love.
I understand that, but like,
no, Dina has the pregnancy hormones right now. She is crazy.
Yeah.
And then
Ellie did kind of get carried for like those 2 episodes. I'll lie to you.
But so like here, so they've been painting Ellie as this soft baby, like person.
Yeah.
And then like they go throughout the episode, Ellie starts to fight Nora, and then all of a sudden we go back to the video game version of Ellie.
Yeah.
It's too disjointed. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't feel. Also, that scene itself, like that whole like one. It definitely felt like they like sped like up to it and sped kind of past it.
Yep.
It was so quick. It was so sudden. It was just like I didn't even like realize at first that was like because it was just her in the park. Saw like a sign that said hospital like in the distance. I didn't even read the sign at first. It was just like, oh, that's like the exit or whatever. So whenever she pulled up the hospital, I was like, oh. And then just like put your hands up, and I was like, oh, we're doing it. Okay, we're here.
I get why, because they cut that other member of Abby's group, who was the first target.
Yeah. Low key, that dude who.
That's why it felt so fast, because you go there, you stumble upon him accidentally.
Like the whole school. Yeah.
All that got skipped. I just thought about that.
They kind of zipped through like that whole park area too.
Yep.
Yeah. They did. They went through a lot. Low key.
But it's just so weird. Like the point of like this, like the story that at least the game was trying, or what it was trying to showcase was how much Ellie turned into the worst parts of Joel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, and how she basically became him.
Yeah.
This is not.
No.
This is not that person.
Yeah.
Like she's making a bunch of like silly jokes and she's like laughing and smiling and and having a grand old time, and Dina's the one who's like
locked in.
like, it's just so
Lucky.
weird. And then when they were walking down the street and Dina was like, "You never asked me.
Yeah.
You never asked me about the first person I killed." I was like, I was like, you know what, Ellie? Yeah, you're kind of rude for that. When she asked you, you probably should ask back. You know, that's just. But then again, that's a man's behavior. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ladies talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
They'll ask a question or they'll back and forth don't happen. Anyways, so that happens, and then Dina's like, and would it have made a difference if I had done something to their family first,
No.
and then they did it to mine?
I would hunt them
I'm like,
down forever. I was like,
one.
Dina, relax.
I'm like, one, who is this person? This
Yeah.
is not Dina.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
literally.
And two, that's like such a stupid lesson to try to teach.
Take out of that,
and I'm assuming that like they're trying to paint it that Dina is in the wrong. I would hope that that's what they're trying to say, considering the main theme of the story.
Yeah.
But it's like, why would you have her say that? It just feels so stupid.
Yeah.
I really just don't get it.
Yeah.
I was just trying to buy time.
Yeah.
Like-
it was, I'm not really. I think that, like in my notes, I was like, I'm not really a fan of the like dynamic change that, like it being very much like Ellie being the one that's having all of these doubts, and Dina being the one like once again like lock in. Whereas in the game is very Ellie's like low key is like, oh, you're pregnant, damn, low key you're kind of a burden now. Dina like is one who kind of like feels like she needs to
like, and it just becomes like Dina's gonna like tell her where to go and be like her like on the radio, like help her at all times while Ellie handles the stuff.
Yeah.
Which anything else you want to say about this before I bring up my thing?
You can.
No, you had something you were gonna say, or was that
go back to the point before that you forgot about initially,
or was that the Dina story?
Oh, was that the Dina?
No, it was the Abby's dad reveal.
Oh, okay,
that's what it was.
Yeah, especially during this episode when she like then blatantly said it again to Ellie, and she was like, "I don't care." I was like, "Nah, bro." Once again, it didn't hit the same. My fault, OG.
Did they set up that stupid ass story just specifically like, for that moment?
Low key.
For whenever she's like, Joe killed Abby's dad. So for her to be like, my girlfriend told me not to care about this, so I don't care after all.
No, once again, I think leaving that like veil of mystery would be so much better.
Who are we making this story for?
Is
this for babies?
It really
like we have to explain everything. We can't like have some like.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, no, the scene didn't hit the same. Even with like the way that like Ellie like killed Nora, like it like focusing on like Ellie and kind of her emotions in the game versus this one where it's just like, where is she? And then like, Batman. I was like, like I don't know.
No, like literally when I played that was when I was like,
shit.
oh,
yeah,
I am the monster.
Loki.
I am evil right now. Like this is not okay.
Yeah.
But I wanted to bring up, because I obviously every time we talk about this, I bring up how everything has just changed. With the whole like Dina and Ellie always being together thing, they changed how Jesse comes back into the fold. Like even just like what's happening before, like when they find Jesse, like my things that I loved about this game was like the quiet moments where it's like, there are people here. You want to like kind of do it quietly, because like obviously it's like a big threat going on, and I miss those kind of parts because it's like very like suspenseful. And so like when I forgot she meets him, he pulls up when they're getting like attacked by the zombies and stuff.
Yeah, when that happened, and like a gentleman walked in.
I thought it was Tommy.
Started blowing.
At first I was like,
is that Tommy? I was like, oh, she's seeing Joel, and then I was like, wait, is this supposed to be Jesse? He's not supposed to be here yet.
Yeah. And the way like even like when he comes through is supposed to be when they're in the middle of like sneaking around wolf members, and like he like grabs her and like covers her mouth, and then whatever stuff happens, and it just like also like I feel like they're like, oh, she knows Dina knows that she's like immune. Let's let her get eaten up by like 6 zombies or whatever. And I'm like, why are we just doing this now? Like this is
I was like despite. Like, and that's another thing that like it doesn't lend like itself like well to like Ellie's character, because
she's not reckless.
Like she's reckless, but she's still like careful in the sense of like she spent her whole life training to like still not get bit. So
Yeah.
like her getting bit every episode, it's like
yeah, even hers being like, "Oh, it's okay. Like I can get
I
bit."
can do
Like no,
like,
that's never how she would be. She would never want to.
Like you're still getting bit. Like it still hurts.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to kind of avoid. You're still bleeding
Yeah.
when you do get bit.
Literally.
Like
Also,
Yeah, so
sorry, no, finish your point. Then I'll go.
I was gonna say, I'm assuming that is going to like come into play later, maybe because like once again, she was blatantly getting like ripped apart
Yeah.
by like 6 different zombies.
She was over there.
walkers, whatever, stalkers. Yeah,
Just like
and
pushing
then
them away.
yeah, and then Dina being like, "No, I swear to God, I was watching. She didn't get bit," and Jesse being like,
Okay.
"Come on, yo."
Okay.
I'm assuming that's gonna come back later, and Jesse be like, "Yeah, I know you got bit."
Yeah,
Or
she
like
totally
something like-
stopped for the
Yeah,
clickers from
before they
biting
were
her.
able to bite.
Okay.
Like, okay. But I don't know. So I'm just another one of those things where I'm not necessarily a fan, but I am willing to see where it goes, I guess. We'll see. I guess.
Yeah. Also, Ellie is a beast with the guns,
True.
with the knives,
Yep.
anything. She's a trained warrior. They should have put Ellie on some Bella Ramsey on some gun classes or something, because the way she'd be fighting these like zombies, she'd just be like, "Bah, bah, bah."
Low-key.
Bah, bah, bah. Like, why are you
Yeah.
afraid? Why are you looking away? Like,
Yeah.
that's not how Ellie is. She's like, I don't know. She's good at what she
about it.
does.
Yeah.
So like, I'm almost like, damn, like, if she ever sees Abby, like, I kind of hope Abby wins, because who is
At
this?
this point.
like the thing is
I'm not really scared of anybody in this show. I'll be
Ellie-
honest with you.
True.
Ellie was traumatized so bad by Joel's death
Mhm.
that she goes on this crusade
Yeah.
that will almost certainly get her and Dina killed. And she's fully aware of that.
Yep.
Yet when she gets to the place
Yep.
with the person,
Yep.
it's silly, funny, goofy time.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a cute little ooh baby the whole time. And just, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't, and I hate being the guy who's like, it's not like the video game. But like,
Yeah.
But like,
the story was told in such a way in the video game that like it feels like it makes more sense.
yeah.
Like
Mhm.
it's again, like in this episode, it's such a disconnect because you see Ellie be like kind of her chipper like 14-year-old self, and then it just cuts to her being a demon in the hospital hallway, and I'm like,
Yeah.
she didn't earn that.
Yeah.
Like we in the game we see Ellie be a demon
Yeah.
from when she gets to Seattle, like when it's after the whole like they get like
Yeah.
ambushed or whatever.
Mhm.
Like that's when she starts like locking in. She talks crazy to Dina. She's lashing out in all these ways
Yeah.
because she's traumatized and hurt and like just wants to kill Abby so bad
Yeah.
that she takes it seriously, and she's not
Yeah.
doing that in the show.
Yeah.
So then when we see her do that, like you said, you had that moment where you're like, oh, I'm a bad
Yeah.
person.
I'm
like
yeah.
it doesn't feel like that now. It just feels like it's just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
feel like
Literally, yeah.
satisfying.
You know, the like kind of like televisionization of the story. I feel like it doesn't lend itself well to the story. It's not like if that meant like the narrative, I guess. It
Yeah.
Also,
like you said, it feels kind of disjointed.
maybe I just wasn't paying attention. Is Tommy still at Jackson?
No,
No.
he Jesse said that. Oh, we
That they
both
pulled up
left like a
together.
night after you
Oh, they
guys or
left
something.
together?
Yeah, because
but then they
that's
split up
that's
when they got to
that's the
Seattle or
one
whatever.
continuity that they continued, was that him and Jesse left together
Yeah.
and then got separated,
Yeah.
and then they're gonna go look for Tommy. I'm
Jesse go
assuming.
with him?
No, in the
the
game,
game?
doesn't like Tommy leave and then
I thought they
reversed,
left together and
then-
got separated.
I
And
thought
then-
it was
and then
just
it was
that,
like
I thought it was
Tommy
just that
left.
Tommy just left by himself.
Yeah.
And Maria was like, "Yo, he left.
Okay,
go get
maybe.
my man.
We need to go get my husband back."
Yeah.
Maybe you're right. And
Yeah.
then
That's why I
at
was
some
like-
point,
It's like the
Yeah,
reverse.
Jesse, and then Jesse just shows up because he's like, "You think I leave you behind?"
Yeah.
and then he's like, "We're gonna get
Why is he
Tommy
like
back."
that?
That's how he said it. Run the clip.
Yep.
I think I'd let you do this on your own.
Was I right or was I right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But like, sorry, we're gonna.
I know, if you're still talking about the same thing, I'll let you finish because I
Okay.
got another thing to bring up.
I mean, kind of the same thing. So like, even like with once again, so it being like the previous episode with Dina being like, "Ellie, bro, I don't let this slide. I'd never let this slide. You shouldn't let this slide. Don't even think about it just because I'm pregnant. Don't mean nothing, bro. Sorry, we already said spoilers. Shut up. My fault.
You're still here? Getting spoilers?
But yes, so it going from like Ellie having like very much so being the one with like the doubts and the uncertainties to then whenever they're in the park and then Jesse's like, "Yeah, no, we came to get you. We're going back." And then Ellie was like, "No." And then Dina being the one that's like, "Ellie, what?" And I was like, what's happening? What's happening here? Why are we all of a sudden the flip-flop? Is she game Ellie or is she TV show Ellie? What's happening here? But
And also, even how she goes to the hospital is like,
it's
it's
so,
just
like,
it's so random. It's like,
insane.
oh, we're in the middle of this big chase. We need to get to safety. Is that the door to the hospital?
Like, I'm saying,
Like, literally, she runs away.
Like, I didn't realize it was the hospital. I was like,
Wait a minute, hold on. I think the plot is happening.
Yeah,
again.
when it went over there, I'm like, what the hell even is that? Like, why are we focusing on that? You should get back to the theater right now.
that's
Like,
not low-key.
your girl's dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Loki. It feels like that whole like sequence from like them going to that building, the stalker scene, Jesse being there, to like the park scene. That feels like it was not like needed. I'll be honest with you, because it feels very much so like it was just a setup to like be like, hey, the hospital, by the way, like it.
Hey guys, remember this?
Yeah, and the hospital like part was only like the last like quarter of the episode
Yeah.
for like
Yeah.
her defeating one of the main people. Whatever. Hey, I didn't write the show. Hey, that's not on me. Hey, I'm just a guy
Yeah.
with opinions.
You
On
got
the internet.
you got anything
True.
you want to say for like any of the episodes you've watched? Any moments that like you liked or didn't like?
I just think it's interesting, like hearing the different direction they've gone in compared to like what you guys have said the video game's like.
Yeah, I'm honestly contemplating like playing it
You
again
should.
so you could
I
see
want to see it.
like
Yeah,
certain
I
parts
think
and like
you
what was
should.
cut out and all that.
Because I think it's interesting because it sounds like the story would go in a kind of different direction than what it's going in now. Like I see some of the same similarities, but I feel like the direction of like the cordyceps,
Yeah.
those being like shown in the beginning instead of like what the direction they went in, and like all the different the spores and everything, like all that
I want to
stuff.
talk about that.
I think it would definitely be cool to see like a video game reenactment version of the show.
I'm just interested to see, because the game is set up in a way to reveal the things when they do like on purpose. So like
Yeah.
you
So-
going into the game knowing the things that are going to happen. I'm interested to see what your like
True,
Yeah,
perspective
because
is.
we have the
Yeah.
opposite where
Yeah.
like we're
Yeah.
watching the show like expecting these things to happen
Yeah.
and then like, oh, okay, that's
Yeah,
different.
like, whoa.
It's like we went into the show knowing Joel was going to die.
Yeah.
We went into the show like
Yeah.
knowing Dina was pregnant,
Mhm.
like all that stuff.
And
But,
that was
like,
Abby's dad.
I
Oh,
also-
Abby's dad was the doctor.
I'm also very interested to see how that dynamic plays out after all this.
Dude,
What dynamic?
The Dina pregnant,
Oh.
Jesse baby
I'm
dad,
worried.
Ellie step baby dad dynamic.
Yeah.
I just
Yes.
want you to know. I just want you to know, Dina being on the type of
Mhm.
timing she's on right now is. I have zero
Vastly
idea how it's going to affect how
Yeah.
stuff is in the future.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
because I feel like that is going to cause
it-
a lot of changes to the timeline.
yeah, it does not mesh. Like
It very much feels like everything that Tommy was
Yeah.
is what she is now, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't necessarily like it. It just
no,
feels a little
it's-
unnecessary.
It doesn't feel. It feels weird. 'Cause, like,
Yeah.
Like I guess I imagine they're going from an angle of like Dina was there. It was Dina's fault for outing Joel. Like
Yeah,
so
yeah.
she feels
Responsible,
guilty.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
now she's being commando, lady to like to alleviate that, especially because it was her girlfriend's dad.
She's the
So-
devil on Ellie's shoulder.
Yeah,
Well, sometimes, and then other times
There is
she's-
no angel.
Yeah. Yeah.
but like considering certain things that happened toward the very end, it's very important that Dina is not Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Literally.
So like.
Yes.
True. That whole part.
Like I'm almost worried that there's gonna be
Oh,
something
yeah,
that
actually.
Tommy does instead it's gonna be Dina
It's
doing
gonna
it.
be
And I'm
Dina,
like,
I'm like, how
why?
does that even
That
make
doesn't
Yeah.
make sense for
okay.
for the way the story's supposed to
Yeah.
go.
yeah, like. Anyways, we won't talk about it.
Yeah.
But,
What we will talk about is the spores being revealed.
I didn't even know, and you said it on the episode.
Mhm.
I'm bad at watching shows. Okay,
Yeah, I do remember
I'm a
saying that.
multitasker. Okay, I gotta. If I'm watching something, I'm gonna be doing something else in the background.
He even does
because-
that while editing. He showed proof.
True.
yeah, that was no.
That was so
It
hilarious.
was, the way you clocked me was honestly crazy. I was editing and I was drawing, and then it just so happened that you guys happened to talk about the way that we watch shows.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, Sean will like draw while he's watching it, and I was like, what the hell?
You look up, you see me looking at the camera.
Yeah, like it's crazy. Like the odds, like it wasn't staged at all. I was
Yeah.
genuinely drawing during that time.
Oh,
So
boy.
funny. But
Spores. The way you watch shows.
like I said, maybe I just didn't pay attention. I didn't even realize that
That
spores
was-
weren't.
It was
Like a
very,
thing.
it was
Yeah, I
very
didn't
quick.
realize
I
either,
think
yeah.
because I always watch that little extra bit at the end of the episodes. So like when we finished episode 4, it like showed a room with a bunch of spores, and I was like, So you can do this. And then 5 started, and then it was the officer talking about her son that she had to lock away, and him saying, it's in the air. Yeah, rest in peace. So when I saw that, it kind of upset me because with the whole spores being kind of important, I always thought it was cool that it's like you're not just watching out for getting bit, you're also having to like make sure you have a gas mask on you, because if you ever fall through somewhere that has spores, now you're infected. And gas mask being a big part of like what every person carries, and that also being integral to how Dina finds out Ellie is immune, is because they both fall. They have the gas mask. I think Dina's breaks, and she gives
Ellie's breaks.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
yeah.
Dina
So Dina
tries
goes
to
to take
give
hers
to
and
Ellie.
she like forces it back on. She's like, no, like I'm good. And I feel like that, the way it played out, it felt very like impactful.
Yeah.
Versus like the like getting bit, and then like I don't know, the rest of it just didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just didn't make sense to me. I just preferred like how it was with the spores. I feel like that was a very integral part of like the world itself, and then them for just not ever using it until season 2 feels kind of whack
For one very specific place in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like if it doesn't show up again, that's kind of whack.
Yeah.
But then also is like you could have done this from the beginning and you chose not to.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of already talked about it. So then how does that affect her? Well, no, because I guess they dropped down in the game too. I don't know how it's going to affect later on also in the hospital, how that's going to play out. Anyway, never mind. Don't worry about it. I
Assuming
didn't
now
bring
that they
up.
know she'll have a gas mask on her.
Low key. But
But it's like, how do they even know?
The wolf knows now.
Oh, okay.
They know about the spores because
Oh,
that's
true,
the.
But like, how does it, did they hear like a log or something about how the spores work? Like, how do they
Well,
know
no,
what the spores do?
I would assume that they probably like
Like, I
after
imagine-
found out like, oh well, let's just start wearing these.
Like, I
and
feel like
hope
in the
for
game,
best.
I feel like in the game, the way that they found out what the spores do were trial and error.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh yeah. Of
So, like,
course.
if they're just kind of discovering the spores now, how would they know
Yeah. To
that?
use
Like,
those.
if you, anyways, I don't know.
I guess
Trial and error.
whenever
Just keep sending
trial
people
and
down.
yeah, I guess whenever young Leon was like, seal it up. They're probably like, oh, actually, breathing in the sports probably ain't good or something. Like, it's in the air. I don't know. Whatever.
That shit was nasty though. Like
Yeah.
the dudes that were stuck on
Low
the wall
key,
just was like,
low-key.
shut your mouth, bro.
Yeah.
Stop.
Hot ass breath.
Low-key setting up. I was thinking about it. Setting up that like set piece must have been kind of cool. Like putting all
must
the
have
stuff
been
on the walls.
Yeah.
Pain
lot
in
of
the
work, though.
ass.
It must a lot of work.
They really the
Yeah.
whole walls,
Oh,
everything was covered.
Yeah, low key.
So shout out to the people who did that.
True.
Set designers.
True.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, one thing
Amazing.
about the show that I can say I like is it looks
It
good.
looked good.
Yeah.
It looks really
for sure.
good. Sound design's really good.
True.
The visuals, everything is all really
Yeah.
good.
I will say once again, scene felt a little unnecessary, but that stalker scene was generally I was like, yo, this is kind of scary. Like, it's kind of cool.
yeah.
This is kinda, like I'm
Yeah.
cutting and then it'll be
Yeah.
more and then more. I was like, hold on.
I was like,
though.
oh, one stalker.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Got
And then,
that.
okay, clicker, still dangerous. Then they turn around. Boom.
I was like,
oh
ooh,
shit.
Yeah. No. Also, the cordyceps make you just dummy strong because like them like ripping apart those gates. I was like, Jesus
Oh, yeah.
Christ, bro. I
Yeah.
was like, golly.
Yeah, I think it's like a
You
thing
didn't have
of
no
like
pain
a-
inhibitor.
Yeah, like that's the thing is
Oh,
like
that's true. So you don't
you
feel
don't
it.
know to hold back, so you're
Yeah.
just
Okay,
using your
okay.
full
All right.
strength or something.
Okay. All right, I'll give you that.
Science.
Maybe if they say it on Dubois, it's correct.
It's
so
correct.
Must,
Yeah.
must be
It
right.
is.
You
You
better
heard it
know.
here.
Yeah.
Type shit.
Like, but
Yeah, I'm just I'm
Yeah.
I'm not impressed
oof.
with the show.
Sorry, Neil.
It's just crazy to think that like the first season seemed like it got a lot of like really good
Yeah.
like a lot of really good publicity around
You know
it.
why?
And why?
Because they followed the script.
I
Yeah.
mean, you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
And that's the thing that feels kind
How
of
they got-
slimy
how they got
too.
clout.
Is that like they'll keep like some big moments that you remember from the game, like Ellie singing to Dina, and then like Ellie in the theater.
We're not putting that guitar back, by the way. Crazy. You found it with the little packets to keep it dry.
Yeah, and left it
locked
out.
up. You just leave it. Crazy,
Shit's
bro.
destroyed.
Facts, bro. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
Like they keep those things in to be like, guys,
Hey,
remember?
Hey, for a second in the park, whenever they like trying to like find her, and then she like looked at the tree or whatever. I thought they're gonna like recreate like the game poster where she's like hiding behind the tree with the gun and like the scars were like.
Yeah.
And I was just like, look at this, the same thing as the game. But they didn't do it, so I was like, all right. But yeah,
I
no.
just,
Yeah, also they kind of sped past Seattle too, which to be fair, technically you can speed past Seattle in the game. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
only need to find like the code to get through the gate and then you're good. But You don't have to go through like all the bank and all that.
Honestly, they didn't show any of that.
You have to do all that stuff.
You do have to.
Yeah,
go
you
through
do.
that?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
because you
do
get
have
like
to
the
do all
gun.
that
and
They
all
skipped
that
that.
stuff,
They skipped the
yeah.
Fedra gates, like all that
Yeah,
stuff. They just
literally.
like, which I can understand because like
Good, because it was
a lot of
it
stuff.
was the worst part of the game.
Yeah.
It stops me from wanting to replay that section. I hate that section so much.
I don't mind it. I'm like,
Yeah,
I
don't
just
mind
beautiful.
it,
I don't.
I can actually frolic for a little bit
just
before I
let
get
me-
into the nitty gritty.
Like I'm just like, oh god. Like I remember when I first played the game and it got to that section, I was like, there is no way you gave me a map in Last of Us
True, actually.
to walk around.
The only map, actually, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's the only time it happened. But I was scared. I was like, I thought that was gonna be what the game was like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was that section because like that's where I think I like briefly like fell off.
Yeah,
at that
I
first
think
section.
Yeah, me too.
You
Yeah.
think you said that when we did our God of War Last of Us episode?
Yeah, just because I was like, I remember I was like playing it, like walking around on Shimmer. I was like,
Dang.
because I appreciate like but like,
Yeah.
Look at this bank, and I look at this courtroom.
but literally
And I look
they're like go heal
Yeah.
and then go heal. Oh, but now you got to go heal.
Yeah.
Oh,
Shotgun.
wait,
You gotta
no,
get
that's
gasoline.
not where the gasoline is. Gasoline's actually over here.
Yeah, like
Shotgun.
Yeah.
yeah, check in the bank, in the vault.
bank, in the
Nah, look. Anyway, we don't have to talk about it. What I will talk about though is what's going on with the ending episode 5. The like, hey, or what do you say? Like, hey, sweet pea, and
Hey, kiddo.
hey, kiddo. Hi.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what's
yeah.
going on with that? Where are they? How long ago was this?
I'm
I
assuming,
think they're gonna be doing like the showing
alternate
them
timeline?
in the past, like
Yeah.
those scenes now, which I've been.
Oh, you
You
know
know?
what that is? That's Ellie's birthday.
You think so?
Yeah, that's gonna lead into
Happy
that. I mean, that's what
birthday.
next episode's probably gonna. Did they do like a next time on Last of Us season 2? Did they do one of
I
those?
don't watch those
They
anymore.
did, they did, but I don't remember it showing the birthday stuff.
Okay.
That would make sense actually.
Yeah, I can see them
okay.
doing that.
Because it was like I was like, it feels so like they just in a clean house. Her and like kinda
Because
like
you just
a
committed a
put
heinous act.
put together suit or
That might
shirt.
Now
have
she's
been
asleep
when it
with
happened
that.
in the game, too. After she
Probably, I think so.
Actually, yeah.
what's her face?
Yeah. It's a big boy.
So yeah, I'm sure.
She better hit that. You better hit that anyway.
See, and you can't. It's gonna be so strange.
Yeah.
I already
Oh yeah,
don't
she'd be like
see
still
her.
the same. Like
Yeah, like
she
I
looks
already
exactly
don't,
the same.
Yeah, I already don't see her as an older version
Yeah.
of the character. I still see her as the 14-year-old
Yeah.
Ellie.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna go back in time to when she was still, well, I guess maybe 15 or 16.
16.
Like, but it's
that'd be crazy if
Oh,
like when they
that,
do
like,
go
she
back,
look-
she actually does look different.
yeah,
That'd be
wild.
crazy.
You're like,
That'd be
whoa,
wild.
hold on,
How
what?
do you do that?
Were we wrong?
Yeah. Well, I guess the one thing that I am a fan of this season, since we're talking a lot of negativity into the universe, is I do appreciate seeing more of Isaac. I'll say that. I think that intro was cold.
Okay, yeah.
I think that the torture scene was cool. Also, Scar's kind of hard, and him being like, "Hey, bro, if you don't," and him already having a handout, he's like, "How what you gonna do?" I was like,
nah, when he did that, I was like,
raw penis is crazy though.
yes,
Surprise
facts.
penis is crazy.
When he was
The torture scene,
torturing the
Scar in the kitchen
I was.
or drawing.
You
Yeah.
don't know, yeah.
I think I was selling
But yeah,
drugs
no,
and
he
stuff.
it has raw
Yeah, I was
peanut.
like, "Oh, but you know what?
Like,
It's
give
only
that man
fair.
some underwear.
It's only fair. They do it-
Loincloth or
They
something.
do it to the woman all the time, so it's only fair. HBO, you crazy for this one?
I see.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But yes, because in the game, like they're like Isaac, the leader of the wolves, Isaac, and then you meet him, and then for like he's like 2 scenes.
He's like,
And
hey,
then-
everybody,
yeah,
I'm Isaac.
yeah, and I'm like, and I'm just like, this dude, I don't give a damn. So them showing, them showing more of him, I think is good to kind of
Yeah.
be like, okay, this is the leader of the wolves. And
Mhm.
you're like,
Yeah.
okay,
I also
all right.
I also really like the actor.
Yes,
he
no,
plays
he's
plays
very
Beatty in The Hunger Games, and he also
Yeah.
plays Commissioner Gordon in
Yes,
The
sir.
Batman.
Yes,
I don't
sir.
know what his name is.
Oh, and that is him. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. We,
yeah, I really like
we watched that
guy.
like
He-
the day before, I think.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
nice.
That episode
yeah.
came out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like him as an actor. I think
Same.
he's very like I like his performance is always so like mysterious almost. I don't know
Yeah.
how to describe it. I don't know. He's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Good one he does.
So yeah, so like as Isaac, yeah, I'm glad because in the game you keep hearing Isaac,
Yeah.
Isaac, and then you meet him, and it's like okay,
It just comes
some
across.
old dude.
It comes
Yeah.
across as like how a military general like just calls the shots kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. Like everyone is gonna listen to this guy.
yeah.
But this very much shows like why they listen to him and like
Yeah.
how he
Yeah.
got to where he is.
He killed Josh Peck.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Which, like I said in the group chat, I was like, I don't think I could take that dude serious in any role. No offense. No offense to you, Mr. Peck. It's just,
Yeah. Now when I saw him, I was like, this don't feel why are you here?
Yeah, low-key. Yeah, energy was still just a little goofy. Like, no offense. But, yeah, no, other than that, once again, hey, cold intro. That was a cold-ass intro for that episode. I'll give you that for sure. Him being like, now make your decision. I'm like, okay, hold on now.
I had to pay respects to that scar. I was like, okay, Rose is like.
Yeah, like him being like, I know what you're going to do, bro.
And then also Isaac being like, all right, this is clearly not going to work.
Yeah.
Bow.
Bow. He was like, yeah, no. Yeah, no, low key, I was like, bro, the scar kind of gagged him. Low key. For
for
how
sure.
are we going to lose? And I'm like, well, the fact that you have to torture him to get information out of him in the first place is like, hey, bro, you kind of at a disadvantage is all I'm saying. All I'm saying.
I don't know how true it is, but he also said, we keep getting your people on our side.
Yeah, low key.
So what does that say about
nobody
you?
going to the wolves.
That one guy that they were sacrificing at the
Even he
end
was
was like, I'll be a follower, I'll be a follower. Like, he was begging for his life saying, follow them. So.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Especially because he said like, oh, like I'll become a scar or whatever. And you know, they don't rock with that name. That's probably another reason why they're like, you're not really trying to be one of us.
You don't know us.
Facts.
It was like watching your, because I feel like the way they like showed each side was like the scars are the victims, and then they went on and showed like, oh no, maybe the wolves are the victims, because they showed both sides doing like kind of
torturing
crazy stuff, and then it's like, oh, both sides are actually bad. They're like two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
It's like watching your so like watching her perspective of it, like as we were watching it, I was like, oh, is she gonna like have sympathy for like the scars? And then as things went on, it was like, oh nope, she's realizing that everyone's bad.
They're both kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Everyone's evil in their own way.
Yeah, low key, because it's true. Because at first, okay, hold on though. You know what? The writing for this one, I'll give you that. Because like seeing like the grand like act of like killing all those people on the road,
The woman and the children,
and the woman and the children too. You fall for that one, Anakin. Still my boy. And then seeing the grand act in the TV radio station, which they sped past too. Anyway, like on the scar end, I'm like, okay, hold on. But then seeing like the torture and the torture going back and forth, I respect that. I do like that. Okay. There's stuff to like.
That's crazy. I will finish the show, but when it's done, I'm worried about my rating. I'll say that. The way things are going.
Ooh.
Yeah, season 1 didn't get a fantastic score for me, but season 2,
I don't remember what I rated.
I give it a 6.
Yeah.
I gave it.
I probably said like 7 or 8 or.
I think I said like an 8 or around 8.
8 or anyway.
But yeah, season 2 is not looking so hot. And there's a lot of stuff like I'm one of the folks that likes The Last of Us 2 and what it like, what the thing it was trying to communicate, the themes and the choices and stuff that happened. So like them changing a lot of those things, or at least the setup for a lot of those things. Me no likey. Me not a fan, but I try to be a trust the process kind of guy. If I can trust Triple H, I can probably trust this too.
Okay.
But we'll see how much longer that trust that trust lasts.
Yeah, I'm trying my best. I'm trying to watch this from a perspective of like this is a TV show.
Yeah.
But I think it's because I'm going in with the knowledge that I have,
Yeah.
and then like being let down every single time.
Yeah. It's mostly just because like if it was different, but it made me feel the same, I don't think I'd be as I don't think I'd care as much. But it's the fact that it's different and it doesn't make me feel as good as like what the other story did.
Yeah, like I would keep saying, like when we do talk about it, it's like it doesn't feel very like the choices don't seem to be made for a narrative sense. It's just, hey, we don't want to copy the game 1 for 1, so let's just change this. And it's like that's fine if you want to change it, but like at least make sure it fits in narratively for the big like things that do happen. And I don't feel that.
Yeah, I think looking at it once again, we just talked about it a lot, like in comparison to the game as a TV show in and of itself, like the spectacle of it, and kind of like like being like, oh, the performances are cool, like once again like the sound design and stuff like that, it's cool. So like as a show, it's cool. Once again, in a vacuum, but like once you kind of take a deeper look a little bit, even like once again like the decisions don't really add up like half the time, and compared to the game, the source, it's not really hidden. But as a TV show itself, pop off, King.
I do feel like if I was just watching this as its own separate show, the only thing that would keep me like engaged is the set design, the action in some parts, and like the zombies themselves. Besides that, I don't think I I would have really been like super into this.
Fair.
I get it.
Because like even just trying to think of it from a non like game story, like the game comparing or whatever, the story feels very like rushed. Like you keep mentioning, like things just feel like they're being sped up or just put in randomly, and then we're just kind of like breezing through things. Like I did not expect we were already going to be like having Nora killed at this point.
Yeah.
So it just felt very like, I was like, shit, it's episode 5 and we're already doing this.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, it feels too fast.
I guess we are like halfway through the season at this point now. So
I'm assuming they're just gonna like finish her arc and then swap to Abby's for season 3.
Yeah.
All I'll say is if Ellie doesn't swim up behind a nice young lady playing on a PSP,
oh my god,
and then kill her to death, this season will receive a 0 out of 10 from me.
valid.
So count your
Wait, you
days.
said a Nintendo DS?
No, a PSP.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This game will receive
Playing,
a 0.
Final Fantasy Dissidia.
Was she?
No.
Oh.
That's like the only PSP game I know.
Crisis Core.
And Grand Theft Auto.
Metal Gear Solid Peace
whichever
Walker.
one.
Okay,
Nice.
nice. We all have our own. What's yours?
There you go.
What's your PSP game of choice?
I don't know. I never had one.
Damn. Well,
Man.
make one up right now.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
Brats.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Done.
I bet that was one.
Honestly,
Editor,
probably.
Editor, put it up on the screen.
Editor?
Editor, you know what to do.
Yeah.
That's the whole segment. Well, this has been a wonderful discussion about the hit TV show Last of Us
Yeah.
season 2.
On HBO Max.
It
Okay,
will
we're
be
back
the
to
last.
we're back to HBO Max.
Yeah.
Wait,
Stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they announced that they're going back to HBO Max.
Yeah.
What the hell is the point?
That's what I'm saying,
Stupid.
bro.
Really trying to be
So now I gotta
cool,
download
bruh.
the HBO Max app again, and they're gonna make me delete the Max app like last time.
Oh my God,
Yes.
bro. Y'all piss me off.
Oh my God. Elon, follow suit. Anyways.
True.
Yeah, true. Please.
Well, we are so happy to have had you here with us today. That is going to close us out. Let us know how you feel about The Last of Us Season 2. Are we wrong? The answer is no, because as established, we've said it on the podcast, so therefore it's true. But
Yes.
that doesn't mean we don't want to hear what you think as well,
Mhm,
even if what you think is not what we think and therefore wrong. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay
We'll
to
still,
be wrong.
We'll still read it.
We'll still read it. We'll like it. We may even reply.
Maybe engaged. Yeah.
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 You know what I mean? So let us know how you feel. Let us know how your day is.
Yeah.
And stay beautiful. Happy International Women's Month.
Belated.
Belated.
Well, every month should be happening.
Every day.
Every
happy
day should be
Women's
International
Day.
Women's Month. Every day.
Every day.
Every minute. Every hour. Anyways. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We have been and always will be.
Go boys. I was incorrect both times today, guys.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
Thanks for watching.
Boy.
Bye.